Hello, welcome to Funfold Friday and Trisha's Cards and Crafts, and I'm Trisha, and this is what we're going to make today. It's not a card, as you can see. The one I'm going to make is slightly different from this one in that this bit is not going to be there and the base is slightly different. This was the first one I'd made by a video that I'd seen. I can't remember who it was. I'll try and remember and put it in the comments below. But the one I've actually followed to do the one we're going to do today is by Papercrafter 45. And I just think this is a nice little box. It'll hold quite a lot of little mini Easter eggs. I've got some more to put in another one. So that's what I thought we would do for today. And I will decorate. Come on, you can go in. You will fit, because I've had you did just now. Right, let's just fiddle around with this a second so that I can get him in, and then I can show you what I'm going to do. There we go. So I will decorate the lid as well. I made some of these with my friends, my crafty friends. We do a session once a month, and they made 3 of these this weekend each. So they're not terribly difficult, but I think they look really effective. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's make a start. I'll start off with the lid. I've chosen a piece of paper from the Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper, 6x6. They're in the annual catalogue. There's lots of different patterns and designs, there's all sorts, but I thought this one was quite a nice one for Easter eggs. There's that one as well. That one's quite nice and bright, and you've got those. There's lots of lovely patterns. There's that one as well, but as you're not going to see a lot of it, I thought it'd be nice to have more colourful bits to see on the top. So the actual lid is only going to be 2 inches square, because it's a square top box. So I think we'll stick with the middle as far as we can. So I might cut off a little bit either side. You need, this is a piece of 6x6, but we'll have to cut this down because it needs to be just 5 1/16. That's one little mark past the 5, so it's just the next one, not the 1/8 of an inch, it's the 16th of an inch. It's 5 1/16 of an inch. So I'm going to cut that off there, and it's going to be 5 1/16 square. So we need to cut off, I'll cut it off a little bit from the bottom, and I'll cut a little bit off from the top. That doesn't look straight. Oh, perhaps it is. Is that the same all the way up? No, it's not. So it wasn't straight. Right. But that doesn't look much different. Anyway, and we'll also cut off a piece from the top. So we got 5 1/16. Just cut a little bit off the top. So we should have a nice square there. For the lid, we're going to score, which I can't do on here, but I will use my embossing tool, my scoring tool, at 3/4 of an inch all the way around on each side, and 1.5 inches all the way around on each side. So I will make sure I line this up properly, and I'm going to go down this here to go, so it's 3/4 of an inch and 1.5. So I'm nearly there on the 3/4 of an inch. I just find it easier to line the 3/4 on that side rather than the other, because then you've got all the paper on the other side, where it's easier for me to work with all the paper on the other side. So there we go. And then 1.5 inches. So 1.5. be the last one. There we go. So that's all my scoring. I will show you the cutting parts of it in a moment. For the base, I've used the colours that are in these. We've got Azure Afternoon, Berry Burst, Blueberry Bushel, Bubble Bath, Fresh Freesia, Lemon Lime Twist, Lemon Lolly, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight and Pretty Peacock. And I thought I'd use this Blueberry Bushel. So we want to cut this at 4 inches. So you can make 2 of these from one sheet of paper if you want to. So 4 inches. I don't need that piece. And I'm going to cut it down to 10 inches. So line us up with the 10 and cut that piece off at the end. So that's all I've got left of this piece. Then on the short side, whoops, I don't know what happened there. Whoops, everything's like everywhere at the moment. Right, stay there. I'm going to score it at 3/4 of an inch. So I need my scoring tool again. Whoops, nope, go back. Get that straight. So 3/4 of an inch and at 2 inches. Which leaves me 2 inches on this end. Now on the fat end, so that's the 2-inch end side, on the long side, we're going to score at, this is why I don't do on this side very often, we're scoring at 1 inch. Oh no, I did what I said not to do, is we're only scoring to the first score line. 1 inch, which I will get that out, 3 inches, so 3 inches, 5 inches, 7 inches, and 9 inches. Don't worry about that one, that's not going to be a big deal. So most of that, yeah. And then we're going to turn it over and we're going to score at 2 inches. So flip it so it's the other side. Again, I don't want this there, go away. Or I can put it right down the bottom and then I'll be right out the way. So 2 inches. And again, from the first score line to the top, 4 inches. From the first score line to the top, 6 inches. From the first score line to the top, and 8 inches from the first score line to the top. So that is our scoring. And I should have said that that's not all of it yet, because we have got a bit more to do. So you now need a ruler, and this one we're going from this corner here. So we're doing the middle section now, which hasn't got any scoring on, or shouldn't have any scoring on. And we're going to go from the top of the one section, the top of the first score line, to the end of the paper at the second score line. So like that. And then from, again, the same place, but to the top of the first score line, which it should be, not that one. And then we're just going to carry on doing that all the way across, joining up the score line. So we will have triangles, shapes all the way across the centre. I'll show you as soon as I finish that. I might just do all on the one angle first and then come back to do the other one next. So at the ends, you're going to the corner on the edge of the page, on the edge of the sheet. So just do these. And the last one there. So this is the base, so hopefully you can see this. So you've got these that match so that they go from one side to the other, so they're going across the center of it. That's where the faceted parts will come in. This is the base, and that's the top, which the lid will fit on top of. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to cut away what we don't need. I'm going to just see if I can iron that out a little bit. So we're going to use our scissors, and we're going to cut this piece away here on the corner, on the side. We don't need this piece, and along that triangle there. So we actually have a part of a triangle there, and we're also doing the same thing. So we're cutting this part of the triangle, and from the bottom, that first score line there. So that comes away. So you're left with this shape like that. Okay, now we're going to cut up each of these score lines. So try and do it in the center if possible of the score line, and right to the top, to the first score line from the bottom, no further. There we go. So all of these are now free, and then at the top we're not cutting any of these, but what we are going to do, we're going to try and just bend this, crease this fold here, and bend that one, and then that one is also just using your fingers and just pulling that too. Same thing with this one, but we're going to bend this around, so like that. This one, whoops, fold that corner in and bend these two. Don't worry about this one in the middle, that, or the top score line, that will happen automatically once we do the rest of it. So there we go. So you have now folded all of these. So when you bring this together, so you're not going to see that score line there, we're going to put this completely over the top of the other one and stick that over the top. So you've got a double piece just here, but you don't have a double piece at the bottom. You've only got that triangle covered. And so it gives you almost an invisible join. Okay, so that is how that joins up together. But first of all, we'll put the base together. So we'll put, it doesn't matter which way you do it, it really doesn't. So we're going to put one end down, put some Tombow. You could use other glue, you don't have to use a wet glue, you can use a tape runner, or you could use tape, tearing tape, or whatever tape you have, finger lift tape, whatever your choice is, you can use that. And then you put one down, put the next one down, add some glue, that one, and then finally the last one, I'll put some glue on here, and this one I want it to be nicely sealed, so that is going to go over the top. So when you put them together, it should be nice and square. Okay, so that will come over there like that. So we will press that down from the inside. Okay, so that is pretty square, and there shouldn't be any, it should all join up quite nicely. This one looks slightly off, so you can just trim that small piece off there so that it's nice and square at the bottom. So we've got a nice square there at the bottom. We just want to put some glue on this piece here and all of it, so the top, the side piece and the triangle. So you're going to get your glue right the way along. You don't necessarily want too much on this so that oozes out, but you do want to make sure it all seals down. Okay, so there's plenty on there. Put that together and hold it down, and it's oozing out, which I didn't want to happen, but that's fine. I'm going to get that off. There we go. So now we have, or we will have in a minute, our square box. Just make sure that's together. There we go. And it's got, you can hardly see that join there at all. And again, you won't see that really at the top either, because you've got a double piece and there's no sort of overlaps as such. So there we go. So there is our base of our box. Now for the lid, and the lid is a little bit, it's not complicated, but it's just a little bit, there's just a little bit more to it. So we've got our 5 1/16 square, and we're going to, I think it'll be easier if I do the scoring first. I'm just going to score the sides. I'm not going to use my bone fold. I only want to see where the score lines are so that I can explain what we're going to cut away and what's going to be folded. So the reason, I'll show you on this lid, the reason this is nice, and because the DSP isn't always as thick as the cardstock, so it doesn't hold its shape as well. So what I did, what the person that made this one, which was Paper Crafter 65 or 45, I'll sort it out now. They've made a double edge, so this one folds over there, and it also means that the pieces that you put to join one side to the other are covered up as well, so it's quite nice and neat. So it's, you do see the underneath of it, but you only see the actual underneath of the lid. You don't, the sides are all the same as the outside. So that is how that works. So that's what we're going to do here. But to actually get that, to make that work, we have to cut some of this away. And it's not easy to see on here, but you're going to cut these two squares completely away. So that is going to come away. You're going to cut this all the way down to the second score line, and then you're going to cut this off, the first square off. So you're left with a bit of a step shape, and you're going to do that on each of the sides. So you're going to cut the first top two squares off, there, and then you're going to cut all the way down to the second score line, and then you're going to cut across the first score line. So you've got one square there. Okay, again, I'll carry on and do the rest of them all the way down, cut that one off, and cut that in half, basically. Do the same thing, cut this one all the way down and off, and all the way down, and just cut the one away. Okay, so that's what you're left with there. Don't need these pieces now, but we haven't finished, because we're now going to cut, I mean, you could just miter these in and that would work, but you don't actually need that much either. So you can just cut off a triangle on each side. So go from the center to the corner of that square. So do that on each of them. Do that with all of them. Didn't get that down straight, so I need to cut that little bit off as well, and cut that one to the corner there, and the last one from the centre to the corner, from the centre to the opposite corner. There we go. So you're left with that shape. Okay, so get rid of my pieces. So that's what you're left with there, that shape there. Or if it's easier to see, you can see it on that side. It does make it a little bit easier. So you come in a triangle, and then you've got the two flaps there. You've got two there, but with a triangle on each side, and two flaps there with nothing. Okay, so what you're going to do, and that's what the side I'm going to work on, is these sides are going to fold over like that, and these two flaps are going to fold in. Then this one is going to come over and enclose that little triangle there, so it keeps the corner tied together. And then the same thing will be on this side, so this one will just go over like that. If I actually score it properly, it will do. And then these triangles will come in, and this one will go over the top of those two triangles. There we go. And enclose them like that. So we're going to put glue there like that. So that will be the lid. So we're actually only going to put glue on these outside pieces here, these the top, or the outside, yeah, the outside flaps. Okay, I'm going to put glue. You can use a tape runner, or you can use glue, or you can use tear and tape for this. It doesn't really matter what you use. Again, you don't want it oozing out, but you do want to make sure it's all got glue on it. So I'm going to put glue on all of the sides at once. This one, but we'll do them one at a time. And the last one. There you go. Right, so we're going to put these two sides up like that, but I'm not worried about these two flaps. This flap is going to come up and over and enclose the two triangles. I'm going to push those down so that they stay held by the flap. Then the same thing on this side. I'm going to bring, I get glue all over me because I didn't think about it first. Should have left those two till after. So bring the two sides in so that they're held together there, and then I'm pushing this one down and over the top and pinching those triangles to be held firmly in place by this flap here. And then all I'm doing is bringing that one over and that one over there like that. So we have, whoops, our box. So I'm going to use my fingers are sticky. I'm going to use my bone folder just to press these sides down so that they're nicely held in place. And the last one, there we go. And a bit of glue on that one. Oops. Just take the adhesive off with my adhesive rubber. And there we go. So there we have our lid. And these edges are held nicely in place there. So that will fit nicely on the top there. But we haven't finished because we can use a piece of scrap paper, and if I can find my excellent eggs dies, should be here. There we go. And we're going to use, I have used this one already this week for the Easter cards I made and the box, but I'm not going to use any other one other than this egg here, and this will fit onto my piece of scrap card that I cut off from the one end, so I can still make another one out of the other part of the sheet of card. So I'm going to add some tape to hold it in place. There we go. And I'm going to cut this out with my mini cut and emboss. Oh dear, dear. Not having a good day today with things falling. Right, and this one, I need the plates. Don't want to come out. There we go. So I've got my plates. I'm going to put my egg on my card on there. Put the plate in and roll it through. And you'll be able to see now that some of the pieces come out. Let's put this away first. I can go back in my drawer, and this can go away. There we are. And so we've got these two other pieces fall out, and I can take this off here. Don't need the piece of card anymore. Put these pieces over here, and I just need to ease my egg out of the die. There we go. And there's the egg shape with the holes in them. Okay, so that is the die. So these pieces actually cut out from the inside of the shape. So what I thought that would look nice then by putting that on the top of my box. And I think that's all we actually need, or we can do a bit more. Hang on, let's put this, stick this onto the top of the box. Whoops. And I'm going to use, I don't know if I can use seal. I'm going to use my Tombow again. Don't like using this to do very fine. The edges on this are quite fine, so you've got to be careful not to get too much, otherwise when you stick it down it all oozes all over the place, and we don't want that to happen. So just try and take off some of the excess, and there we go, that will do, I think. And I'm going to use my tweezers to pick it up, and I'm going to put it on the top of my lid there like that. Oops, it's decided to stick to me instead of the box. There we go. There we go. So that is my box then. I don't need when you need it you can't find a cloth. So that's all my glue gone off there. So that is the top of my egg box. I have got some little Easter eggs to go inside. I don't need these pieces because I'm not going to do any paper piecing. I could, but I'm not going to. And I think it's nice because you can actually see the pattern through. And I've got some these little Kinder Mini eggs. We've got a packet of those, and then we can fill up the box. That's just going to annoy me. So these are nice. It will take a whole packet of these Kinder Mini eggs, which I got from the supermarket. So it's milk chocolate covered mini eggs with a milky hazelnut centre. So same as the Kinder bars that you can get. These are the Kinder eggs. So they'll hold quite a lot of those. And that is the lid. And if we want to, we could add something on the top. I've got blue, so I might use these blue. These are Tinsel Gems 4-pack. These were from the Christmas catalogue, but I've got some left over, so I might just use these now because I can. And just take a few of these and there, and a big one over here. So we've got our little decoration there. That one's come off. Okay, that will stay there now. I can't get this to go back in because it's stuck to the bottom. Right, let's see. I don't know who opened this, but it wasn't me that ripped it like this. But, never mind, that's fine. So that is the decoration on there. I could put with the excellent eggs we have somewhere. There it is. A Happy Easter, which we could put on a strip of paper and maybe put over the top, but then you're going to lose some of the egg, and I don't really want to do that. That will just about, well, not quite, but it won't, it's not far off fitting on. But I don't really want to cover all of that up. I haven't got a smaller Happy Easter that's available at the moment. I don't think this one, nope. No, there's not one on here. Nope, I haven't got an Easter, a small Easter one. So there's not one I can use on any of the other sets at the moment. So that is it. That's all I've got here for Easter. That's current. Yeah, I'm afraid. So, and I don't really want to cover the whole thing up. I could probably fussy cut that. We could try it. Let's try it. I've got that. I need some blueberry bushel, which is down the bottom here. Let's have a look, see what it looks like, and then we can decide if we want to use it or not. Happy Easter. There. How are we doing? Nearly there. Right. There. Right. 2 seconds. Let me just... Right, just finish this off now. So we're going to cut. I'm going to fussy cut this. I'm not making a lot of these. back up. Reminds me a bit of rugby posts. There we go. So we've got a happy Easter, which we could put across there like that. So we could put those on with, I've got some mini dimensionals here. Being as I've done it now, might as well use it. And one more here. I do find that if you put your nail down onto it, it helps to release them. They come off a lot easier. Right, so put that on there. Oops. Aha. There we go. That's better. So there's my happy Easter and my little box of Easter eggs for somebody. So that is my project for today. This is my Funfold Friday project. It's a nice faceted box and lid which will hold Easter eggs. So a little one for Easter. It doesn't have to be Easter eggs. You can put whatever you like in there. You could put chocolates in there. You could put another type of gift. Put a little bit of tissue paper inside and nestle something in there. A little jewellery gift maybe. That would be nice too. So that is my project for today. Thank you very much to Paper Crafter 45, I think that was who it was, and whoever else I'd seen had done one as well. Thank you to them. I will put the name in the comments below, in the information below. And if you want to know the dimensions again, you want them written down, you want a template of it, I think this one I might have another go at, because I've got a few to make anyway, for family, that I will make another one and I will put it on my blog. I will actually do the directions for this and put them on my blog, but that won't be until the end of the week, okay, or the weekend, after the weekend probably. So thank you very much for joining me, and I hope I'll see you again soon. If you want any of the products that I've used, you'll be able to find them in my online shop. I will also put the details in my blog when I post that, which might not be until Monday next week, and then the links will be there to the products that I've used, and also when I do the instructions for this box as well. So thanks again for joining me. If you've got any questions or suggestions, you can leave them in the comments below, or you can email me, or you can put them on my Facebook or my Instagram page as well. Okay, thank you very much for joining me, as I've already said a number of times, and I will hopefully see you again soon. Bye for now.